What is up, guys? It's Jasmine, obviously. I am back with another video. Today I am going to be talking about something that me and a friend of mine have kind of went back and forth with for like the last maybe 6-ish months, I would say, something like that. As I've mentioned before in other videos, I grew up in Hemet, California, and Hemet has gotten progressively worse since I moved away. It was getting bad before I left, but once I really moved away, that's when things started getting bad. So I'm glad I got out when I did. Now, me and him have noticed that there is a influx of missing people out of Hemet, California lately. And so I thought we would go ahead and talk about it today. Now, Hemet, California is connected to San Jacinto, California, and it's all kind of in this bowl. Now, this bowl is in Riverside County, if that makes sense. And so between Hemet and San Jacinto, there is a population of 133,405 people. Now that probably sounds like a lot, but it's really not if you think about it, considering that like LA has 4 million people. So this has 133,400 people according to the 2017 census. And the reason I wanted to give you this number is because it's a very small town. But in that small town, we have 35 people that are missing. 32 of them have been missing in this last year. And again, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but keep this in mind. Out of all of Riverside County, there's 59 people missing. Out of all of Riverside County, right? But 35, those 59 people are missing from Hemet, California. If you look at this map, you can see Hemet is teeny compared to the other cities in Riverside County. And looking how large Riverside County is and knowing there's only 59 people missing from this whole spot, yet 35 of them missing from Hemet is crazy, right? So in November of 2014 to October of 2018, 19 adults went missing. The majority of them went missing from January of 2017 to August 2018. And that's 13 total adults. 16 minors are missing from Hemet, California. Most of the minors were missing between November 2017 and August of 2018. Do you kind of see a correlation here? With the majority of them missing between April and August of this year. 12 of them came up missing in that short amount of time. Now you might be wondering, where do I think they're going? Where does my friend think they're going? Because I mentioned that me and him have talked for a while, right? Before I tell you what we think, I want to also let you know that on September 4th, 2018, so 2 months ago, because I'm filming in November, police busted 2 men on child sex trafficking in Hemet, California. Their bust was actually related to a previous arrest that had happened on January 23rd of this year. And they had caught one other guy for child sex trafficking. Now, the friend of mine that I'm talking about, we're going to call him M because he does not want to be known as his name, which is fine, you know. I know you're watching this. He believes also that it's sex trafficking, and he believes that it also could be organ selling. I've had that thought with the older people. The thing that doesn't make sense to me with the child sex trafficking is they recovered 16 missing children when they caught those guys. So 16 children missing from parts of Southern California, but mostly from Hemet, have been reunited with their families. But we're still missing 12 minors. Where are they? I was talking to my husband about this and kind of getting his opinion, and he was like, I think how it would work in sex trade is, he was like, obviously they're not going to look at the victims as people. They're going to look at the victims as currency. So, you know, maybe this ring over here, they need more blonde girls. And I have 4 blonde girls and I really only need 3. So I'll trade you 1 blonde girl for 2 boys. which I know is a terrible, terrible way of looking at it, but my husband did bring that up, and it would make sense, actually, which is heartbreaking. But, my friend thinks that it's organ selling. He thinks that they're taking these people, they're harvesting their organs, and then they're dumping their bodies. Which, I mean, could be plausible. Who's to say? There's not really any more information. I kind of want to go through and I want to do another video trying to get as much information as I can about the missing people and give you a little excerpt of like where they came up missing, where, you know, the last time they were seen, their description, their age. The only issue is there's not a lot of information to find. I've been looking for articles. Like, I Googled different names. I Googled, you know, different ways of trying to find the information. I looked through like Hemet Facebook pages, and I looked through a lot of that stuff, and I cannot find anything on a lot of the missing people, including minors. And you would think that if your son or daughter came up missing, you would be raising awareness. You would be trying your hardest to bring those children home. So I think maybe I'm not looking in the right places. I don't know, but I figured I'm gonna try and do some more research and see if I can put a video together. That way I can kind of shed light on the victims that are missing versus just talking about it more as like a conspiracy theory. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this video by giving you guys different tips on how you can avoid being lured into a sex trafficking ring, and also just tell you that if you see a situation that doesn't look right, don't feel like you're being judgy and that you may not want to contact the local police department or do anything to save that person because you don't know what the situation is. You need to follow your gut instinct. If something's telling you that that's not right, you need to say something because you could be this person's only hope. Let's go ahead and talk about everything that you guys can do to keep yourself and your children safe. As you know, women and children are the main victims of sex trafficking. So, I mean, if you're a big old burly man, chances are you're probably not going to be attacked, and you could probably fight them off. So these tips are going to be geared towards people who may be a little more helpless. Not that I want to call a woman helpless, but you kind of get what I'm saying. This one, I think, should just not even be for sex trafficking. I think this should just be in general. When you're walking to your car in a parking lot, get off your damn phone. There are so many times when somebody just steps out in the parking lot looking at their phone and a car's coming, I'm coming, having to slam on our brakes. Stop. Put your freaking phone down. It's getting really, really annoying. Get off your phone when you're driving. Get off your phone when you're in the store. Get off your phone when you're in the parking lot. Our phones are taking over our lives. I should not have to say excuse me 3 times because you're in the middle of the grocery aisle on your freaking phone. So that's number 1, is don't be looking down at your phone when you're going to your car. Be alert, look around, make sure you make eye contact with people. Make sure you let people know that you're mentally here, because how easy would it be for you to be on your phone and somebody to just walk up and grab you and pull you into a van? Speaking of vans, number 2, you come back to your car from grocery shopping or whatever, and there is a van parked next to the driver's side that you're on with like the sliding glass door, and you see someone in it, do not get into your car, because that's going to be the perfect opportunity for them to open the van, grab you, put you in the van. You know, that's definitely one thing. If it's late at night, you need to have a security guard come walk you to your car. As soon as you get into your car, you need to lock your doors. It's super easy. If you're sitting there again playing on your cell phone with your doors unlocked, somebody can just open your back door, get into your car, and boom, you know, you're snatched up. Okay, this is if you're being chased. It goes back to nature. If you're being chased, run in a zigzag motion. The reason I say this is because if somebody has a gun and they're trying to shoot at you, it's going to be harder for them to hit you if you're running in a zigzag motion. It's harder to shoot a moving target. That's also why you see gazelles, like on nature documentaries, they run in a zigzag pattern, because it's harder for the lion to catch them because they don't know where they're going. If you're running in a straight line, they can gain on you. But if you're running this way, this way, this way, this way, it's going to be harder to gauge your next move. So if you're going to run in a zigzag motion, always fight back. Do not ever, 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 ever just get into a car because they're holding a gun and they say get in. No. I don't think it's a good idea. Personally, If you're holding a gun and you're telling me to get into your car, you can shoot me right here, because I guarantee you shooting me right here where everybody can see you and I'm close to civilization is 10 times better than what you're planning on doing to me once I get into that van. That's just my suggestion. You do what you think is right, but personally, you shoot me now. I ain't going nowhere with you. Nope, not doing it. If you can, carry pepper spray. Carry, if you ever CCW, make sure you have your handgun on you. You know, carry things to protect you. Mace, they have tasers that they sell that you can put on your keychain. If you can, carry around a form of defense. The other thing I would say is look them in the face. Let them know, I know what you look like. Make sure that you make eye contact. A lot of times, that's enough to deter them. Don't put yourself in dumb situations. If there's a brand new couch being sold on Craigslist and they're saying that they're giving it away for free and the conversation back and forth is a little weird, don't go. Bring a friend. Don't answer. If it just seems like it's too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. And definitely proceed with caution. Don't meet people off the internet. I feel like in this day and age, it's like everybody's doing that online dating. Everybody's just meeting this person and that person off the internet. People are just, like even with Uber and Lyft, like you're calling a stranger to come pick you up and you're getting in their car. If you are going to meet someone off the internet, meet them in public. Don't like go to their house. I don't even care if it's a hookup. You meet them in public. Let people know that you were seen there. Let people know where you're going. And this one, I think, is kind of a hard one, especially in the day and age that we're in with the whole political correctness and everything. So I don't know how to say this without sounding like a complete asshole, but I feel like we tend to dismiss our own intuition because we're worried about offending somebody else. And I do this myself, but you know what? I've told myself I'm not doing it. If I get the creepy vibe from you, I'm gonna trust that, because I'd rather be safe and I'd rather my kids be safe than potentially be overly nice and get myself into a sticky situation. So personally, I say trust your intuition. Treat everybody as an enemy versus trusting everybody. And I'm not saying be rude, be short with them. You can be perfectly nice to them, but in the back of your head, know that you don't know this person and they could do anything to you. The other thing I wanted to mention, especially for small children, is I think you should have, even in relationships, secret codes. Me and my husband, if I had to somehow make my husband think that I was safe when I wasn't, I've told him how I would secretly let him know that I'm in danger. And I think you should figure something like that out too. Figure out code words. Maybe you sign a letter in a different way. Maybe you, I think of something to where if you ever receive this letter or you ever receive this phone call from your significant other, there's something in there that's going to let you know it's not right, and you call the police. Also, I would say get a password for your children. Set this up. When I was growing up, my password, my mom, is if somebody comes up to your kid at school and they say something along the lines of, oh, your mommy sent me to pick you up. Hi, how are you, Julie? You have your kids say, well, what's the password? So if somebody came up to me and said, Jasmine, your mommy said I had to come pick you up, I say, what's your password? And if they're not telling me my password was crackers, then I'm not going to go with them, and I'm going to know that my mommy didn't give them a password. I think passwords are great. If you have a friend go pick up your kid and they have to use the password crackers, you change the password. You change it every time you have to use it. That way, if that person ever had ill intent, they will not be able to use that password, because the kid will be like, that's not the password anymore. And if they're being legitimate and they're really there to pick them up, they can make a phone call and say, what's the new password? Always change it. Once it's used, it's gone. Pick a new one. If you're being followed, drive to the nearest police station. Do not drive home. Do not drive anywhere near your house. Drive in the opposite direction. Drive to a police station, because once they see that you're pulling into a police station, they're probably going to take off. Another one is if you're being pulled over by an unmarked vehicle and you know for a fact that it's not a police officer, do not pull over. You call 911. And if the police officer is angry at you for calling 911, you ask for his badge number. Because 911 will get you the answers immediately. You just say, hi, I'm being followed and convinced to be pulled over by an unmarked vehicle, and I want to make sure that it's an officer, because that's a huge one right now. Impersonating an officer is a huge way that people are becoming kidnapped. So call 911. If they're not pulling you over because they're a real officer, then now 911 knows you're being chased by someone and they're trying to lure you. If it is a police officer, then they'll go ahead and tell you that, okay, yes, you're right, it is. And then my biggest one, honestly, one of the biggest ones I use on a daily basis is you tell somebody where you are. Maybe I'm extra paranoid, I will own that, but me and my husband will constantly communicate with each other through text messages. If I'm running to 3 different stores, okay, I'm at store A, and then when I leave store A, I'm like, okay, I'm off to store B. Hey, I got to store B. I go into store B, and then I'm leaving store B, I'm off to C. When I arrive at C, I let him know. When I'm about to leave C, I'm telling him, okay, I'm on my way home. He does the same thing. That way we know exactly where each other are, so that if something happens, we know what to do. I don't know if you would, some people would consider that unhealthy. I think that it's the best case scenario in case something does happen, especially in the area that we live in. So anyways, that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little all over the place, but I wanted to just touch base on the fact that there are so many missing people from a small location, the fact that it is happening, and it's happening big, and just ways for you to protect yourself. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this. I hope to see you in the next one. Go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.